I used to believe my greatest enemy was out there. Someone stronger, faster, more skilled. I thought the real battle was in the ring, on the mat, or against another warrior. But over time I realized the real fight was never against another person. It was in my own mind. The hesitation before taking action, the fear before a risk, the comfort that begged me to stop. Every day that enemy was waiting for me. There's a voice inside your head. You know the one. It speaks the loudest when you're about to do something difficult. Just as you're ready to step forward, it holds you back. It whispers, "Not yet. You're not ready. What if you fail?" It reminds you of every mistake, every doubt, every time you've fallen short. At first it seems like that voice is protecting you, telling you to be careful, to wait for the right time, to avoid unnecessary risks. But the truth, it's not protecting you. It's controlling you, keeping you in your comfort zone, making sure you never grow, never take the leap, never realize what you're truly capable of. The longer you listen to it, the stronger it becomes. The more you hesitate, the harder it gets to move forward. And before you know it, that voice isn't just a thought. It's a wall between you and the life you want. But here's the truth. That voice only has power if you obey it. The only way to weaken it is to stop listening. Every time it says, "You can't," prove it wrong. Every time it tells you to wait, take action. Every time it reminds you of failure, remind yourself of the lessons you've learned. That voice may never completely disappear, but you don't need it to. You just need to be louder than it. There's a kind of fear that doesn't feel like fear at all. It feels like safety. It disguises itself as caution, as logic, as a reasonable excuse to stay exactly where you are. It tells you, this isn't the right time, you need more preparation. What if this goes wrong? It wears the mask of wisdom, making you believe that waiting is the smart thing to do. But if you listen closely, you'll realize this fear isn't protecting you, it's trapping you. It convinces you to stay in the same place, repeating the same routine, avoiding risks, and calling it, playing it safe. You tell yourself you're being patient, that you're waiting for the perfect moment, but deep down you know the truth. That moment never comes. Fear doesn't just stop you from taking action. It slowly weakens you. Every time you hesitate, every time you back down, every time you choose comfort over challenge, your confidence takes a hit. You start believing you're not ready. Maybe you're not capable. Maybe you were never meant for more. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it is to break free. But here's what most people never realize. Fear never disappears. You will never wake up one day completely fearless. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who break through isn't that one has no fear. It's that one moves forward despite it. They feel the fear, acknowledge it, and take action anyway. They understand that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It's not telling you to run away. It's telling you that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. The most dangerous thing about fear is that it tricks you into thinking you have time, that you can wait another day, another month, another year. But the longer you wait, the more you lose. Not just opportunities, but belief in yourself. Because every time you let fear win, you teach yourself that it was right. Fear is clever, it adapts. Sometimes it shows up as overthinking, convincing you that you need more research, more experience, more validation before you start. Other times it appears as perfectionism, making you believe that if you can't do something flawlessly, you shouldn't do it at all. But both are just different masks for the same thing, avoidance. And the longer you let fear dictate your choices, the more comfortable it becomes. You start adjusting your life around it, avoiding situations that make you feel uncertain, staying within the limits it sets for you. Before you know it, you're not just stuck, you're shrinking. Your potential, your dreams, your courage, they're getting smaller because you've let fear define the boundaries of your life. But the truth is, the only way to grow is to do the very thing fear tells you not to do, to step into the unknown before you feel ready, to take action while your hands are still shaking. Because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build, and you build it by proving to yourself over and over again that fear has no power over you unless you let it. Your mind will always try to keep you in the familiar. That's its job. But your purpose isn't found in what's familiar. It's found in what challenges you, in the moments where you step past hesitation, past doubt, past the illusion of safety, and into the life you were meant for. Fear doesn't mean stop, it means go. Every single day, with every action, every choice, you are building something unstoppable. While others hesitate, you push forward. While others surrender to fear, you rise above it. Fear only holds power over those who listen to it. But when you refuse to be controlled, when you bend it, break it, and use it, fear becomes your weapon. Most people think strength is about muscle, about force, about how hard you can hit. But true strength, the kind that makes fear itself hesitate, is built in the mind. A mind that refuses to doubt itself. A mind that does not flinch under pressure. A mind that has already decided that no matter what, it will win. This is why warriors throughout history trained not just their bodies, but their minds. They understood that the greatest battles were fought long before they stepped into the arena. The real fight happens in your thoughts, in your discipline, in the way you respond to resistance. Because if you can control your mind, you control the fight before it even begins. Picture two fighters standing face to face. One is bigger, stronger, faster. The other has something different, something more powerful. A look in their eyes that says, "I will not break." And in that moment, the stronger fighter hesitates. Because strength can be beaten, speed can be countered, but an unbreakable will, that is something no one wants to face. That's what you are building every time you refuse to quit. Every time you push through when others would stop. Every time you silence the voice that tells you to slow down, to give up, to play it safe. You are not just training your body, you are forging your identity. You are becoming the one others fear, to fight because they know one thing about you. You will never stop coming. You will never back down. You will never surrender. And that is why, when fear sees you, it steps aside, because it knows it cannot win. But here's the truth. There comes a moment when you think you've made it, when you've faced your demons, silenced your doubts, turned fear into fuel. You've struggled, fought, bled, and conquered. You've built a mindset that refuses to break, a discipline that never wavers. And then just when you think the battle is over, you realize the truth, it never ends. The greatest challenge is not reaching the top, it's staying there. The moment you believe you've won, that's when you start losing. The instant you get comfortable, the same voice you once silenced creeps back in, whispering, "You've done enough, you can rest now, you don't have to push as hard anymore." That is the final battle, the battle that never ends. The fight against yourself. Every warrior, every legend, every unstoppable force you admire, they all face this test. And the ones who truly become great are the ones who never let themselves slip into comfort. They understand that mastery is not an achievement, it is a commitment to growth, a commitment to discipline, a commitment to the fight that never stops. Think about it. What separates the great from the forgotten? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's not even strength. It's consistency. It's waking up every day with the same hunger as the day you started. It's training like you're still the underdog, even when you've already won. It's knowing that the moment you stop evolving, someone else, someone hungrier, is coming to take your place. You must train your mind to see every day as a new battle, to never let success soften you, to never let comfort dull your edge. Because the enemy isn't just out there, it's within. It's in the excuses that sound reasonable. In the moments when you tell yourself you deserve to relax. In the subtle, almost invisible ways that discipline erodes. Look at the greatest warriors. The legends who stood the test of time. They didn't just rise once, they rose again and again, refusing to settle, refusing to slow down, because they understood that their biggest fight was never against an opponent in the ring, on the battlefield, or in competition. Their biggest fight was against the urge to stop pushing forward. So ask yourself, what happens when the motivation fades? What happens when the excitement of the journey turns into the weight of endless discipline? Will you still rise before the sun? Will you still put in the work when no one is watching? Will you still fight, even when you've already won? This is what separates those who shine for a moment from those who become legends. Those who are truly unstoppable understand that the final battle is never won. It is only fought every single day. And in the end, it's not about proving something to others. It's not about winning a title or achieving a goal. It's about proving something to yourself, that you are the kind of person who never stops, the kind of person who chooses the fight, the kind of person who, no matter what life throws at them, stands up, clenches their fists, and keeps moving forward, because that is what makes a warrior. Not the victory, not the applause, but the unbreakable, relentless decision to fight until the very end. Your own mind will try to slow you down, but those who refuse to give in, those who fight beyond the pain, beyond the fear, beyond the doubt, those are the ones who become legends. You have two choices. You can surrender to the voice that says you've done enough, or you can stand up, step forward, and prove that voice wrong every single day. Because in the end, the fire that drives you is either fed or extinguished by the choices you make. Feed it, keep it alive. Let it burn so fiercely that nothing, not fear, not failure, not even time, can ever put it out.